Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today I'll be showing you some tips and tricks to create your own CardiGiant. For more beginner-friendly knitting kits, check out my website, thatcraftystitch.co.uk. First up, you'll need to cast on. The entire CardiGiant is created with double-stranded knitting, so make sure you cast on with 2 strands at a time. You'll be working with 2 strands for the entirety of the project. So, just like normal, you create a slip knot, and then you proceed to cast on. Just make sure you're catching 2 strands every time you create a new stitch. You don't want to catch 1 strand because that will mess things up. When casting on for this project, you don't want to do it too tightly. This cast on is going to form the base of the hem for your CardiGiant, so make sure you've got a little bit of wiggle room as you go. The next slightly unusual technique is seaming the shoulders of your CardiGiant. I've used 2 different colours here and a contrasting colour for the working yarn, just so you can see what I'm doing. So normally you'd go into the stitches behind the cast off, but for this project we're going to go through the middle of the cast off. So you want to be seaming through the centre of that cast off. This will create a really nice effect and it will also reduce the amount of bulk on the shoulders. So have a little watch and see how it goes. I personally prefer using this seaming technique now in a lot of my knitting projects. You can see here it creates a really nice effect. Now moving on to picking up your stitches for your sleeves. So because the CardiGiant is quite a heavy garment, you want to make sure that you've got some structure here because you don't want saggy sleeves. Nobody likes that. So as you can see, there are some smaller loops that you've created through your knitting. You want to pick up your stitches through these small loops rather than the large loops in the stitches. This will just give your CardiGiant a little bit more strength to hold on to those sleeves. Depending on the size that you're knitting, you'll need to pick up 26 or 28 stitches. Just make sure that you double count these stitches because this will affect your ribbing when it gets to the cuff. Once you've picked up all of your stitches and you're happy with the number, to join the round, you simply need to start knitting into your first picked up stitch. Just keep going around and around. There's no need to do any fancy joining techniques for this project. Something you might find when you start working on your sleeve, especially if you're working with 26 stitches, is that your knitting needles are slightly too long for the sleeve. To fix this, we need to use a technique called magic loop, or this is a variation of magic loop. Basically, you pull the cord of your knitting needles out to close the gap between your stitches. So if you're finding it a bit of a stretch, just do this. You'll also want to use this technique for creating the cuffs. So as you can see, I've switched to the smaller 12mm needles at this point, but you'll need to pull the cord out in two areas to create almost a mini triangle. So you've got enough give to actually start working with the knitting. Once you've finished working with those stitches, just pull the cord out again in two places and carry on. I hope this video has been helpful if you've picked up my pattern or kit. If you want to make your own CardiGiant, the pattern is available to download now, and the kit is also available if you want the yarn. For more beginner-friendly knitting kits and patterns, check out my website at thatcraftystitch.co.uk. Bye!